And it's BBC Radio Northampton, Chris Berrow here. So my newspaper reviewer today then is James McInerney, and we've met before, James.
We have, yes.
Thank you for coming back.
A while back, yes.
Braving it again.
Yes.
Reviewing the papers today. Now, James, just as an introduction to yourself, you do lots of things. I know that we talked about writing last time you were in.
Yeah.
So you're a poet, author, and photography as well comes into what you do.
Yeah.
And last time we were talking, I think, about something that you'd just written. You'd just written some poems and put them on your website, things like that?
Yeah, we kind of like do loads of different things. I work with YouTubers, I write. I'm actually doing my second book now. I write a blog for the Herald Post, and I've just kind of done loads of different things within the writing area. So it's been really good fun.
It is absolutely an area which I'd love to be good at. Totally not. And just as a sort of starter for 10, has anyone else in Northamptonshire got this thing where you just can't quite clear your throat all the time?
Yeah. Just now we were just
talking about this before we started, and both of us are going, why won't the throat clear? It's so annoying.
Right. Yes. Water at the ready. It's just it's hay fever. I think that kind of your nose is blocked and then you can't.
If people saw how many drugs is the right word I was carrying in my bag, I'd probably be arrested.
Suspicious looks.
Do you need that many hay fever drugs? It's like, yeah, I really do. But let's talk about some of the work that you do and areas of interest. What kind of topics do you go to when you're going creative in terms of writing?
Well, I kind of do like Love Lost, but all the kind of different things. I kind of write to music, so that's the way I've done it, kind of instrumental film scores, and that's kind of how it's evolved over the years.
And I suppose when new films come out and all the rest of it, you must be quite inspired when you go and see them.
Yeah, and then straight for the soundtrack, looking for that soundtrack and then buying it and then using it to write another poem. Yeah, definitely. That's the kind of way I work.
Absolutely. Well, I think we mentioned last time as well that my dad does some of the film score soundtrack things.
Yes.
So if there's anything that's... what's he done recently? Oh, he's in Terminator Genesis.
Oh, is he?
He's in the orchestra.
Is he Arnold?
He's Arnold, yeah. They asked him to come back and he said, oh, all right then. He's in Terminator Genesis, just in the orchestra. But it's one of those films where even though my dad is genuinely in the film, I probably still won't go and see it.
Well, Jurassic World's really good as well.
I've seen Jurassic World. Really good.
I bought the soundtrack to that as well. So,
do you have visions of? Does the music give you a vision, or does it?
It kind of sets the mood, like the emotion for the write. You don't know what you're going to write until you kind of listen to the music, and then from that you kind of get a notepad and just start jotting ideas down and kind of form a poem from that. So that's kind of the way I've always done it. And don't seem like I want everyone to change.
Do they have to rhyme?
No, actually, and a lot of my latest ones don't. Kind of change my style a little bit, and I'm really liking what I'm doing so far. So it's been really, and I've written over about 214 poems, so it's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Do you have a favourite word? I've always found that an interesting question. Do you have a word that you really like to get? Not necessarily just to crowbar in, but is there something that you think? Because I found out the other day that coolth is the opposite of warmth.
Is
like
it?
coolth is a genuine word.
On Wikipedia, have you searched?
I've looked it up on the internet and everything. Yeah, coolth is a real word.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought of that. No, I haven't. Just kind of like whatever music I'm listening to kind of brings out whatever I'm going to write next, and just kind of gone from there. And hadn't really kind of planned anything. It's just all kind of made up on the spot kind of thing.
It's a good way of doing things. I like
it. It is.
When I was playing the 1 second song earlier, which sounds like this. Are you good at guessing songs and things?
I think I know what it is.
You think you know what it is? Okay. I'm just going to mention that Keith in Dustin says, is it Pinball Wizard by The Who? It's not, I'm afraid. But if you think you know, you can have a guess at the 1 second song. I just love that. What a start to a song. Well, it's very hard not to say what it is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what it is.
if you want to have a guess, 81333 is our text number. Start your message with the word North, or you can call us, of course, 01604 234455. So we'll look through the papers then in a few minutes' time. Yep. James McInerney is our newspaper reviewer. The time now is 10:15. Chris Berrow here, BBC Radio Northampton, with James McInerney, who's our newspaper reviewer today. And much to discuss.
Yes,
I suppose. Well, what's really the big story of today? Do you reckon?
Wimbledon.
I love a bit of Wimbledon. I love it.
So much happening. Obviously, Serena Williams winning yesterday, which is kind of like her 6th time winning at Wimbledon.
Well, I found this confusing to understand initially. They were calling it the Serena Slam, and I was thinking, what on earth is the Serena Slam? What's the difference?
Well, I think with this one is she won straight sets, didn't she? She actually won the whole thing in straight sets. There was
which is amazing.
Which is no real challenge. And it's her 6th time, and she's really top of her game, isn't she? So I
think the women's game should be five sets. I really do.
Yeah, it's just different, isn't it, the way they do it? compared to the guys.
Yeah.
So,
we get to the final day and it's like an hour of tennis or less.
Yeah.
And it's because Serena's so good, but the whole thing's done and dusted, and you think, oh,
that's it. It's done. Yeah.
Play the 5 sets. I don't understand.
But I mean, obviously, Murray lost to Federer, and today the big final, the men's final, Djokovic and who is the world number 1, playing Federer at 2:00 today on the centre court.
It's going to be such a good game. I mean, who do you back as the winner?
I don't know. I mean, Federer's really good, and I suppose they're equally matched. Djokovic isn't world number 1 for any reason. He's really good.
He's properly good.
Yeah. So that's going to be that's going to be a long game. I think that's not going to be. That's going to go on for a while. I
was watching some of the doubles last night. It was the women's doubles with Martina Hingis, who I think is, how old is she, 34, something like that?
She hasn't won for quite a while, has
she? It was 20 years since she'd won, as a 16 or 15-year-old or something ridiculous like that. And now she's 34 or whatever the 10-year difference is. But there was one of the players who, when they served, they kind of went, booyah! Like that. So they go, booyah! And every time she hit the ball... Yeah.
Is that going to be trending on Twitter now, is it?
Hashtag booyah. I thought it was good. I do enjoy it.
And obviously Murray's brother Jamie lost, so it's a kind of double loss for the Murrays, really.
Yeah, they're not going to be having the world's best weekend, I would have thought.
No, and he was watching from the audience, wasn't he, as well? Watching his brother lose, so it was kind of like
he said every time he watches his brother he loses, which is why he doesn't watch it. Yeah. It's like that. There is that thing of when your family come and watch you do something, and it does put on a sort of a different type of pressure, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, because you're there performing, and obviously his brother's very good at tennis, so it's kind of a lot of pressure to win, and obviously they lost. But the mixed doubles are playing today as well, so with the final of Djokovic and Federer, we've also got the mixed doubles, so it kind of comes to an end. The whole thing really closes. No more strawberries and cream.
Oh. Do you know, I don't actually like strawberries, so I don't mind. Yesterday everyone was saying, oh yeah, do they want strawberries and cream? And I'm thinking, well, I'm sure they're nice, but not for me. I don't like them. But I was thinking actually about, because Murray's mum is there all the time, isn't she? I mean, that's a pressure, isn't it?
As well, yeah. Another thing, like you say, family, watching any kind of thing like that, it's more pressure you don't really need. It's nice to have them there, but it's pressure anyway. Yeah. But to have your parents watching you, like judging every single time you hit the...
Well, it's like if you're writing a poem and someone's looking over your shoulder. Like, don't look at it, it's not finished.
Exactly. So I mean, pressure's a terrible thing. So but the other sport is cricket. Obviously, England victory moment,
actually winning a cricket. That's the real news.
Beat Australia by 169 runs.
I did watch some of it actually, and there was lots of interesting play. I think the thing is, I don't understand cricket that much. Like, I still don't really understand the LBW rule. No. But I do like watching it.
There's the one-day matches are quite good, but it's the ones that go on, like this one, day 4 or 5, is kind of...
Such a test of skill, though, isn't it? I mean, by the time... I mean, what other game is such a test of skill over so many days?
Yeah, it's long, isn't it? But they've obviously looking England back on form and looking to do well, so we'll see.
Did you watch any of the classic Ashes series? I think the one from 2005 with Flintoff and
the legends.
That was on. I think that was on. It's 2005, and I just remember watching that, spending weeks and weeks just sitting and watching it, and it was just the best of all times. And I didn't really like cricket that much. You know?
Cricket is slow to build up, isn't it, to something? Whereas football is different. Cricket is like a slow. People sitting there with umbrellas while it rains.
I like when cricket comes down to, after 5 days, it comes down to one ball. If you hit one run, you win, and if you don't, you lose the game.
Yes, exactly.
How close is that?
But I'm not a fan of cricket, but this is very exciting news at the moment. So obviously England are hopeful as well.
Yeah, I think England, from what I understand of cricket, it's not been in a great place recently.
No, it hasn't. No.
It's picking up, so... 1-0 is a good place to be in, and we'll see what happens, I suppose.
And other sport is cycling, Tour de France. They start stage 10 on the 14th, and also Scottish Open, which is also big news as well. Yeah. The golf.
Gosh, it's like a summer of sport, isn't it?
Yeah, there's loads of sport. And obviously, being the summer, I suppose, this is the ideal time. So
I've never understood why some sports happen over the summer and others don't. Like rugby, don't play that over summer, but when it's muddy and wet, it's like, let's play rugby, great. Yeah. I suppose it makes sense if you're falling on the ground that it's not that hard, but I like football, the season stops over summer, but wouldn't it be better to
be it's too hot from them? They're not paid enough money, obviously.
Imagine how much they'd have to be paid to go out in
in blazing heat.
Oh. They still probably wear gloves, some of them, anyway.
Other news, talking of brothers, on the Mail on Sunday, the two brothers, Prince Harry and Prince William. Prince Harry's just joined the helicopter team in Namibia, and they're saving black rhinos.
Oh, really?
What they're doing is actually they're going in, because poachers are nicking them for the horns.
Yeah.
They're actually going in and chopping the horns off, which is a bit...
Well, that's like...
It's like they're doing what the poachers are doing, but
that's actually quite a good idea, isn't it?
Well, they're chopping them off to deter the poachers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
So he's part of that team he's just joined, and he's basically not flying, but part of the team. It did say Afghan veteran Prince Harry, which veteran to me doesn't...
it's not the right... It doesn't feel like the right word, does it?
No, it seems a bit weird. But his brother, Prince William, is tomorrow's at 7 a.m. He's very precise of what time he starts. Joins the East Anglian Air Ambulance.
Oh, yes. Of course, something that's close to our hearts.
Yes, so they're both kind of like got day jobs now.
Proper jobs. Amazing.
Yeah.
I like the idea that... I'm fascinated by the idea that they go, oh, you want to kill rhinos for their horns, do you? Nope.
Yeah.
We've got them now.
Yeah, so they're basically going in and chopping a chunk off, which deters them, apparently, because it's not the full horn. So
they're not bothered about it.
Yeah.
What's so frustrating about the whole situation is that a lot of the rhino horns and stuff are used for kind of herbal remedies.
Cancer, apparently. I read in there it's a cure for cancer as well. It's ground down and, well, allegedly.
It's basic. Well, yeah, of course. But it's basically just like the equivalent of fingernails.
Yeah,
it's just the same stuff.
And it grows back. It does grow back because when they cut it, they did say that it grows back to its normal size. So.
Yeah, but it just seems such a waste.
Yes,
it annoys me a lot.
Right, we've got on the Sun, on the front page of the Sun, George Michael.
Oh yeah.
He's been in rehab for a year, which no one knew about apparently.
So he's been kind of he took himself into rehab?
Yes, he's been in real bad state, addicted to crack cocaine.
Wow. So he put himself in rehab a year ago. He's been in for a year, and what has he come out?
Out. Yeah,
he's out. Okay.
But the actual rehab, $190,000 a month.
A month?
Yes, a month.
190. What are they doing?
Yeah. Well, he's obviously... I don't know what they're doing, but he's out. The former Wham star, who's actually sold 100 million albums.
Oh, that'll be why you can afford
it. Is out and back on the mend.
I think musicians and the rock and roll lifestyle and drugs and everything, I think they used to be more hand in hand than they are definitely nowadays. I think, was it Keith Richards who said recently that none of these rock and roll stars look like they're having any fun anymore today.
Yeah. Well, I suppose when money comes, drugs come, and that's the unfortunate thing. And like you say, Amy Winehouse and everything like that, and it just ruins Kurt Cobain. It ruins them all. So
this thing of the sad fact of the 27s Club, which is the club where particularly musicians die at the age of 27, i.e., well before their peak, and it's things like like you say, Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, Amy Winehouse. Just recently. I mean, it's a bizarre kind of... it's not a bizarre link, because I suppose if you have a huge amount of disposable income... you've got, free time...
And a lot of them use the drugs not in the right way, but they use them to get creative and help them to write songs, which is not, But no, the Beatles allegedly, in the 60s, were doing that kind of thing. The song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was...
LSD.
Yeah. But obviously they denied it, but... It's what happens when you're a rock star with loads of money.
It is what happens. But it is fascinating. So he's out of rehab now, having been in for a year.
But he's been in and out. I mean, every kind of drug I think he's taken, the alcohol addiction, everything. So he's had a troubled career. I was thinking about this when I was watching. There's this program about Amy Winehouse on the iPlayer that's available. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I think it's called Amy in her own... She's got a movie out, isn't it? She's got a movie out, yeah. Yeah, it's called something like Amy or Amy in Her Own Words or something like that. And there's one on iPlayer, and there's a proper film that's coming out as well. Yes, yeah. And I was thinking, if you look back at some of the performances where she's totally out of it, you just think... why did no one do anything? And she was so thin looking, and she looked a mess. But if you look at her career at the beginning, she's totally different, and it ruined her really. Well,
I watched her first ever interview with Jonathan Ross the other day just to see what it was like, and she was not the same person.
No, fans used to actually go to concerts to watch her for the fun factor, because she was always come on stage drunk, and everything, and it was a shame really.
It was it was in front of everyone, and
she couldn't finish half the song. She walked off. It's a shame, isn't it?
It is very, very sad indeed. But yeah, so George Michael taking steps to kind of try and avoid that for himself. But I don't know. I think that's one of the things about the music industry that's very interesting. That I think it's, again, stars of his era. It's still very much a thing. I think nowadays it's... Is
it less nowadays?
I don't really know. I just suspect that if you get found with it nowadays, because the fans are very young, you know, like did you remember the story about One Direction?
I was going to say One Direction. Yes, there was a big thing about that. Yes, and
I don't know their names. Was it Zayn? One of them?
Well, he's left now, hasn't he? Zayn. He's having a solo career of his own. So
yeah. You betrayed us, Zayn.
Yes,
I hate you.
I
hate you.
Yes.
I don't know about this One Direction thing.
No, I don't. I'm not a fan.
No. Very interesting. Well, there we go. That's a look through some of the stories of the day. And yeah, I suppose we'll see what happens in the tennis today. Who are you backing? Djokovic, Federer? Who do you reckon?
I'd probably think Federer, actually.
I want Federer to win.
Yeah.
I think Djokovic will win.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
But I desperately want Federer to win, just because everyone's going, oh, he's well past his best. It's like, is he though? He just got to the final of Wimbledon.
Exactly.
How is he well past his best?
Well, I think it's going to be a long game and it's going to be tight, so it's not going to be an easy win.
No, I shall be on the train heading to London to watch Ed Sheeran, so
I'll
have it on my phone. Come on, Federer! Ticket, please, sir.
Yes, Ed Sheeran whilst watching tennis.
Hopefully it won't go on that long. James McInerney is our newspaper reviewer. If people like the sound of your poetry, by the way, or they want to see any of the work that you're doing at the moment, is there a good way to check it out?
Well, you can Google me.
The Googles.
Just Google James McInerney's McInerney and Wix, Wix, takes you to my website, and everything I've done comes up in the media, all the newspapers and everything, and my books can be bought from there as well.
I need to get one of those.
Yeah.
Everything I've ever done in one place.
I know.
Wouldn't be much. James McInerney, thank you so much, our newspaper reviewer for today.